My name is Eneas Aguirre von Wobeser. I have a little bit of not so conventional career because I started as oceanologist, or so I studied oceanography when I was in college. But then slowly I got more and more interested in microbiology. I started first with aquatic bacteria, with cyanobacteria, and that took me to microbiology. And now, since about 10 years ago, I'm working in microbial ecology. So lately I have been focusing mostly in studying microbial communities using metagenomics with a focus on agricultural systems. Yeah, it's a mixture of interests and opportunities. I wanted to study complex microbial systems, and also in a way that I could contribute to society. There was an opportunity for a position, first a position in microbial ecology. So I gave it a shot, and at that time it was still in aquatic systems. I studied Pseudomonas communities from a very special environment, from a very unique environment. And afterwards, when I had built up some experience in microbial ecology, there was an advertisement for a position in microbial ecology of agricultural systems. So I jumped in, and that's what led me here. I think it's really interesting to focus on systems that have lots of interacting parts, and we try to understand how these parts can be analyzed with the aim of developing methodologies and products that can be helpful for society. I was looking for a way to analyze my first proper metagenomic data set. I had some experience with 16S data with 16S sequencing data from other agricultural systems, but this was my first time giving a try with real full-scale metagenomics. So I researched some different options, and when I found KBase, I found that it had several advantages, several very interesting properties, very interesting features. So I decided that was my best shot for a first trial, and I was very pleased, very satisfied with the results. The use of KBase was very important for my project because it allowed me to make in a very short time a very successful analysis pipeline. I learned from the videos that you have. So, the tutorials that you have, it was really fast to implement. The tutorials, for example, to make all the taxonomic profiles are really clear and straightforward. All the pre-processing of the reads that has to be beforehand too. So it was really easy. And the analysis times are great, and you have to wait times that are really related to the complexity of the analysis, and there are no long queues. I think a couple of times I had to wait a little bit before the analysis started, but it was really very fast. And I like a lot the traceability, that every step you do is being recorded in a nice way. So you can go back and see what you did. If you need to change something, you can fork it really easy. And all the previous steps are there. So it can be revised in the future by anyone. I think it's really a great tool for reproducibility. Because if you do your analysis with just downloading the programs and running them in a cluster, then it's harder for other people to follow what you did. They would have to read all your code and know in which sequence it has been run. And of course, there should be good logs of in any bioinformatics analysis, but then people need access to those logs. So in this way, with KBase, it's really very easy to see what you did. So if a colleague asks me, I want to know exactly the steps to reproduce this analysis, I can just refer them to the open narrative, and there they are. And the open narrative is of course also referred in the paper, so they can easily go directly there. Other things that I found very good is that it is free and open for everyone. So for example, I live in Mexico, I work in Mexico, and I have absolutely no problem to create my account and use it freely. So that's very nice too. Yes, about the tool, what I have learned and what my experience was is definitely do the tutorials, follow, read all the information that is there to before doing the analysis, and definitely use the forum, ask questions. You will get your answers. Well, I would encourage anyone to use these kind of tools to make reproducible bioinformatics. And about the project as a whole, what I would do, try to get more different sites in each location. I had one site in each location. I think it would have been better to have at least 3 sites in each location. It's also a matter of costs, and that's why I did it. But at the end, I think it would have been worthwhile, a little bit less sequencing depth and more sites, because at the end, the whole sequencing run, which was NextSec this time, was too ample for the number of samples. So I think it's better to have more independent sites and less replication within site and less depth within site. But it is a question of experimental design that has to be done for each project individually. But that's what I would advise starting researchers or people that haven't done this kind of projects. Don't be afraid to get too few sequencing reads and don't over invest in a few samples. Better have more. That's something I learned. It fits perfectly because, well, for science to be really effective and to really serve humanity as I think it should, it has to be open. It has to be accessible to everyone, both data and publications. And I think KBase helps a lot to provide data and analysis results in a very useful way, because it's much more difficult to go into the raw databases, which are also very important, but to go into that and redo the analysis or find the information you need, it takes a lot of time. And then with a system like KBase, you can just go there and take the data in the steps you need. You can go to the raw data, you can go to the final results, you can go to the pre-processed data and do your own analysis. So I think it's great. It's also great that it's free because, for example, this paper that we are talking about today, it had to be published with a subscription-based model because of financial reasons. But if one can if you can give your data to everyone without having to pay for it, that makes it much easier for third world countries where sometimes funds are not so abundant. As I said, first check all the tools available, make a list of which tools you think are the most suitable for your goals, and then read all the tutorial information, give it a try, and if you have obstacles, just write in the forum, I would say. And I really recommend the system.
Thanks for watching this KBase user highlight. Be sure to check out the publication and public narrative that are linked in the description. If you've published a paper with a KBase narrative and would like to be considered for a user highlight, feel free to reach out to us by sending an email to engage@kbase.us. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content.